What's up, KK? That was a fun hang. That was cool. What's up, D? D. I have on a saxophone cover. That's the music for tonight. All easy, all night. Listen to these awesome. These jams are like feng shui. I don't know. I better find something else, or just put it away. I'll just put it away. Why not? Let's talk. What's going on? Yeah, for real, right, D? Yes. Yeah. Nothing like a sax. Making me do it. Looking like an old man. Yeah, the horns are cool, D. I love the horns. The horns touch those little spots inside your heart that like nothing else can touch. Music in general. Music, I think. I love them too. The brass. I don't know. I've been in a few rock bands in my life growing up. Lead singer. I've learned how to drum, uh, not proficiently, but set a few sets in with a couple bands. Picked up a set, 9, 10 songs, but not proficient really. I don't own a drum kit, but I've had some good times around music. Music is fun. I love music. I love performing. You know, I love performing when things are well thought out, and I don't know. It's just a good time. Love it. What's up, Joe Mama? It's good to see Joe Mama. Joe Mama, I didn't know you were from Ohio. Maybe I did, but I forgot. But now I know again. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. Welcome. Anything anybody wants to talk about? Um, Topics. I don't really have anything planned. I know I said last night I was going to go live. I did say that. But so I'm doing that portion of this, but I just, whatever. How the hell are you doing? Nazawa's here. What's up, Nazawa? Malikaliki Maka. Aloha. Malikaliki Maka. I don't have nothing. Nope. That's all I got. And Zawa's a good dude. Good dude. He's not here. That's all right. This would be like a an accolade present grenade. So when if and when or if he watches this, he'll watch this and it'll be like, boom, there I am. Surprise. We love us some Nizawa. Hardworking man. Great guy. Great guy. Christy Kuhn, you want Pete Buttigieg? That guy, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That guy actually, no, I'm not worried about much as far as the reelection of President Trump, but that is a smooth talking cat for as much shit as he's got going in his area and everything. He He is very presidential sounding, and I hope he drops out soon. I don't like him. He's a puppet, of course, 100%. So I hope he drops out too. I think the bottom line in the Democrat Party is that they have just exposed themselves right before our eyes. They've exposed themselves for who they are by their agenda, by going through things like the Brett Kavanaugh hearings to put him into the Supreme Court, and the Christine Blasey Ford cross examination that led into some of events that will be framed into history hundreds of years from now. Lindsey Graham blowing up at the DNC, the Senate Democrats, talking about the smear campaign, things like Nancy available on YouTube, the internet, of talking about the smear and the wrap up smear, and this is how it's done. And these are things that she spoke about and ranted about before it would be damning to her, like it is now when this kind of stuff comes out. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. This swamp is deep and so bad. It's so bad. My empathy lies on the people that are just waking up now. There are so many different layers of truth as you deconstruct, and maybe this isn't even the top, but you start deconstructing the truth by using reasoning and letting it bounce off your own soundboard. You are using reductive reasoning to figure out where the truth is. And that's what's happening on not only an American scale, a global scale. We are seeing the pictures. They are trying to suppress as much of this as they possibly can. They are trying to suppress it as much as they've tried to suppress anything in the last 2.5 years, 3 years. President Trump and Q team have struck a nerve, and they're doing the fucking boogie woogie on that nerve. And they've got it to the point now where there's nothing but sheer panic in DC. These people are projecting beyond what anyone of sound mind could consider reasonable projection. And it's actually, put honestly, been that way for a while. It's been that way. They are counting on you remaining asleep and not challenging their thoughts and not challenging what they are force feeding down your throat. If you still listen to any part of mainstream television, especially with MSNBC, CBC, CNN, CN, whatever, all of them except for a short little window at Fox. It's being fed, if you listen to that, it's really heightening itself each week as we get deeper and deeper and further into this great awakening that's now turned into the storm where these people are projecting. It's gotten to the point that the narrative in the mainstream television of the likes that I already spoke about, it gets more and more ridiculous. They are jumping on any misspeak, anything by the president, anything unverified within the Trump presidency now is full on, full game. Doesn't matter if you make a misquote, doesn't matter. And this is alive and well in the Reddit world. There are posts in Reddit that are fully allegiant to trying to say they support President Trump, but yet try to deconstruct and dismantle him through the Reddit posts, trying to show that you are a patriot, but yet while you come out and initially show that with a whole bunch of people, you start to deconstruct what you think will destroy Trump. And essentially it's an operation on your mind. It really truly is in some of these posts that are on Reddit. And that goes for YouTube channels, that goes for Twitter accounts, it goes for all of it. But that's the most overwhelming portion that I can point out is that. So this is all really happening right now. Did any of you by chance hear it was about a minute and a half long speech that President Trump put out today? It came out via the White House, maybe official press release. It was President Trump coming out to the Rose Garden. He came out. It was today. Let me just read the chat for a second. Did any of you see that today? And what was said? And then I want to have a discussion about that. Okay, so I'm not hearing a lot on it. So let me elaborate. Oh, wait a minute. We got something here. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. Thank you for chiming in. Appreciate it. So here's the deal. So President Trump comes out, and if you're subscribed to, I think it's called the White House page on Twitter. I'm not 100% sure of that. I probably should have had that together before I did this live stream, but especially with how professional I try to be through it. So I'm embarrassed. But anyway, he comes out and he's talking about the hurricane, all right, that's coming right at the United States. The hurricane is called Dorian. Dorian with the D. Dorian. And he comes out and he says, well, the hurricane came through and luckily it skirted off of Puerto Rico, so there's no problem in Puerto Rico, and it kind of went through and it hit the Virgin Islands, but it only kind of lightly brushed them, but it's on a direct hit. This is what he says. It's on a direct path. It's on a direct hit. And I want the people to know that we have all the right people in place for this event that's coming, because we know the direction of this hurricane Dorian is about to hit. And he says, some estimate, or he says, this hurricane started off as a very, very small hurricane, but in the last like day or two, it's increased. So it's coming in with a lot of punch. It's coming in with a lot of punch. And then he equates it and says, I've even heard reports that say it's going to be could be as devastating as Andrew. And that's going to be like a very whatever day. But he's talking about this massive hurricane with all this punch. Now, before I make my next point, let me go back and say this. In the Q drops of the past, which again, I'm very unprepared, but in the Q drops of the past, Q told us to be on lookout for when President Trump says a storm is upon us or something along that nature. Because when that comes out in Twitter land from the president, it means it's game on. Game on. Like, not any more pussyfooting. Game on, game on. That's my read into it. When you look at the Q drop, and forgive me for not being able to reference the exact number of Q drop it was, but it referenced it numerous times that the president was insulated and that at this certain moment in time, the president would tweet out and in regards to this storm, because I'll remind you in 2017, he came out and said, do you feel that? This is the calm. It feels like the calm before the storm. What's the storm, Mr. President? You'll find out. You'll find out. And here we are. Hundreds of thousands of Q drops later, all bringing us to the truth of spiritual awakening. You're totally awake. You're totally awake. Here we are in the midst of this great awakening, this great storm. Here we are. So as we move forward and we see exactly where we're at in this story, I mean, what other direction could any of this take people? Where else could it lead you at this point? You either choose to be awake or you're not awake, and you're choosing to be awake. Because if you would consider yourself any form of seeker of truth, you could find the truth, and not in one random video, not in one lousy live stream, not in one anything. It's you have to invest yourself into it the same way you've invested yourself into what you know nowadays. You have to you really do have to break the matrix inside of yourself to wake up. But you can't fly off the handle. You can't be crazy. You have to use discernment. The information is in front of us. Anyway, whatever. What are y'all talking about? Hey, Watchful Warrior, good to see you too in the house. Fran, Red Pill Marine, brother, how are you? Oh, thanks, fucker. What a dick. I love him though. I swear to God, I do. He's a good guy. What's up, bro? Man, I took a breath. I came back to the chat. I kind of let myself settle in and talk about something I don't even know where it was going. I was almost out of body for a second. That was crazy. I know one thing. The universe definitely let me know when to shut up. That's funny. Kind of. Yeah, Watchful. Semper Fi, brother. We got a few Marines in here. Semper Fi, always. Ow! I don't want to wake my wife up. I'll start calling out Cadence. She's literally right above me, above this ceiling right here in bed. Sometimes I play music and I know I keep her ass up. She's like, bark, 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 bark. The next day, it's like, bark, bark, bark. And then I do something nice and everything's better. That's how marriage go. Oh. Well, KK, you're going to have to ask Mr. Red Pill Marine about that, sister. He always has an open invitation to the microphone. Yeah, that would go out for you too, Watchful Warrior. But yeah, I know Christy's referencing directly Red Pill Marine. And of course, absolutely. Yeah, that's an open invite. There's a few of you. Open invite. You get it? It's just because he's a Hoosier. I know that, Chris Kuhn. You just like him because he's a Hoosier. Hilarious. All right. Somebody pop. Somebody give me a topic. Somebody something. Let's talk. I got to wrap it. I got to have something to go on. I feel like I'm at the bar. I'm at the bar. I'm sitting down next to you. And I look at you and I go, so, what's your story? And you say, tell me. All right, let's go from there. What would you say? You'd be like, you're really, really bald, dude. I'd be like, yep. That's what you'd say. Hey, watchful. What would I say to that? It would definitely involve shots. Jaeger bombs. Burned out. Jaeger bombs, man. You can't go wrong with Jaeger bombs. Yeah, you can, but just maybe one. Maybe one for fun. Might put a little goose in your juice. I would actually probably get into a very deep conversation with you, watchful, if you said that to me, to be honest. Man, we'd be those guys at like 3:30 in the morning. They'd be like, drink up those last 6 beers you ordered at last call that are sitting in front of you. And I'd be like, okay. Maybe ask them for a cooler to go. I've had some nights at the bar like that in my past. Meet some real interesting people. Pretty funny stuff. That's how I met Shawnee. That exact scenario. Ordered a million beers at last call. There we were, laughing it up. Actually, you want to hear something that I didn't have planned? It's funny that just all turned into what I'm about to tell you. Is that 27 years ago, this Labor Day weekend, tomorrow night will be, even though it's not the exact date, is the weekend that Shawnee and I met. And I married her 5 months later. But that anniversary is up like this weekend as it represents. Anyway, whatever. I'm not buying flowers or a card. I'm just telling you. I'm not a complete meathead. I mean, I get it, but you don't get that shit for this. It's kind of a, hey, glad we met. Cool. Celebrate the anniversaries. I'll probably get her some flowers. China, Russia, any of it. China and Russia. Completely talk about it all day long. All right, Red Pill. Solid, brother. Good to see you. Chris Kuhn wants to come up to my neck of the woods and go on a wine tasting. She's going to drag up her husband. I'm going to drag my wife out, and Christy and I are going to have all kinds of fun, and they're going to just look at each other and be like, what the fuck? Or it might go different. You never know. It could go better than that. I guess that'd be a worst case scenario, right? Whatevs. So let me tell you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at right here. We visited this little town on the lake shore of Michigan about 3 years ago, and this dude was selling art, like whatever. Okay, art. I kind of like art, but I'm not like into art. Like I kind of stand back and I go, yeah, I totally appreciate that. That looks great. Do you want to know more about the artist? Fuck no. Um, I guess unless it's super interesting, but no. I just want to appreciate it. So we have the Eiffel Tower in our kitchen now. It looks great. That's all. Better give me something to talk about. Oh wow, Robert Nozawa. Uh, I have something controversial to say about that. It's only controversial because it's not proven to be a remedy, and I'm not talking about CBD oil, but I'm talking about actual. It's what you give your pet to not get. I think it's ringworm. It's the drug that's in there that is you're going to totally have to do a little research on this, but I'm not kidding. There's just recently been some really high praise of it's like a drug for dogs that actually kills cancer like right where it is. Like I said, it's not CBD. I mean, it's this drug and maybe a combination of vitamins and this and that. But I mean, it's having astronomical results. So just look it up, dude. I mean, look it up. It's there, and I apologize for not having the specifics, but you said it, so I just wanted to talk about it, I guess, for a second. Anyway, yeah, it's heartworm meds for dogs, right, D? Yes, that's right, D. 100%. D's covering what I can't because I'm a slow mo. I'm a slow mo, slow motion, Bill. Yeah, bro, and for sure. It's such a crazy story that I had to read it, and apparently D did too, or watched it or something. All right. So who's in the house? Who do we got here? Okay. KK asked about Pete Buttigieg. I think I covered him. How about KK's live stream tonight? That's a great topic, KK. That was a lot of fun. If you weren't there, and I know some weren't, and some that watch us in the future won't be there, come to KK's live stream. Now, we're going to all pitch in to a GoFundMe to get her a light so we can see her face, so she can come to us under the wonderful guise of light and video. And we get to meet her that way. But if you only get to hear her tonight when you watch it, that's okay because the message is great. So listen to KK. Entertaining. Great girl. Great girl. And it sounds like great family. And she's got wonderful things happening in her backyard. The Adventures of the Squirrels. The squirrel's name is Georgie the squirrel, and Robin the canary, and Sal the chipmunk, and Benjamin the owl, and Simon the ferret, and all kinds of cool friends that come to her backyard and want to chill and listen to the Christy Coon Show, KK. So check her out. Look at me. I'm a billboard. It's fun though. It's a lot of fun. Come to her show. All right, let's see what's going on. I know I felt like I was like doing a I know, D. I know. I know. I just wanted to pretend I was doing like a commercial, but I for real like the channel a lot. I do. It's fun. And she pulled out some guns, some weaponry, such a savage woman, um, hurting a poor bullseye. She pulls out this 6 shooter, or maybe it had a clip. I don't quite remember. And she like puts it right on and goes pop, 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 pop. And you look, and it's like a group like this. It's like a group like that. I mean, there was one little stray one that got just outside, but it was still in the black. It was like, this woman is dangerous. She is the most dangerous woman in northern Indiana County. Don't you mess with her, because she's even more brilliant with a shotgun. Shotgun. Not like this. Like this. She's pretty damn badass. It was cool. It was pretty cool. It was fun. It was fun. I never even seen anybody shoot a shotgun like that. Not on a movie. Show from Annie Oakley from the hip. That's what her husband said. Annie Oakley did say that. I finally get it. His joke just finally landed in my head. I get it. She Annie Oakley'd that bitch. Pow, like 4 of them. Man, I screw up. It was fun. That was fun. It was fun to watch. Next time you should like get some hand grenades and then show us what it's like to throw hand grenades. Do that, KK. That would be some must-see TV or internet or this. It was fun though. I don't know. What time is it? Oh my God. It's going to be 3 a.m. in like 19 minutes. I don't know, KK. Maybe you could just light up some fireworks. I know you crazy bastards in Indiana have like everything that shoots almost to the moon and explodes. Because being from Michigan before they were legal, we used to have to travel down just over the Indiana border and we'd buy all your crazy hillbilly shit and bring it up to Michigan and we'd blow the shit out of it. It was so much fun. You're not all hillbillies. It's just fun to say. Good times though. Good memories. Taking those trips. They literally had us go. It was like the beer war when you couldn't have Coors beer in Texas, but you could have it in Arkansas. So that's what Smoking the Bandit was all based on, I think. Maybe the states are wrong, but it was about moving the beer from one state to another where it wasn't allowed to be. And that was the bet. And this is the bet with KK. All right, I'm off this. What's a hillbilly? Are you serious? Watch the movie U-Turn, Robert Nizal. That's the rawest form of a hillbilly ever. The rest of us just got smarter and less cringy from the people in that. Yeah. What a psycho movie, too. Boom. There's a few that I've seen. I got caught not looking. I was like watching. I was like, what in the world did I just get into with this movie? Because this is, whoo, not good. So happy Thursday night. Yeah, right. Yeah, Robert Zaw. Watch that creepy flick. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I saw it once, and it was like when I saw Schindler's List. I watched it once, and that was it. I don't have to ever watch it again. That's the same way I feel about that movie, The Hills Have Eyes. I just was like traumatized. I'm not watching that again. My good gravy. I'm not watching that again. Scariest movie I ever saw. I don't know why. It's The Ring. It's PG-13. That movie, now I don't care about, but when I saw that, that made like the bumps on my bumps go up. I mean, when she crawled through that television and when she did that crazy leg walk up the side of that well, something inside of me went, mm-mm, I'm not doing, no. And then she left her victims looking like, well, like they had just seen death. So they had the death face. Do you remember that? The death. All weird out and weird and dead and weird and dead. That movie creeped me out. That was PG-13. Think about how many kids that probably damaged, including a 35-year-old man, just completely damaged me. I hate that movie. I'll never watch that movie again. Mm-mm. What's the Boogans? What's the Boogans? If you don't think you've seen that movie, D, you haven't. Because once you see it, you can't ever unsee it. If you watch it from start to finish, you can't unsee it. You'll always remember that you saw it. It's that, nah. I don't even like watching scary movies anymore. Like everything is about like, but then again, I don't like bubblegum movies either. Truth is, I don't really watch movies. I guess I watch a few, but whatever. Yeah, Pet Cemetery, that's a good movie. Are you talking about the original, Christian? The original Pet Cemetery? You remember the guy, the old guy? What was his name? I don't remember. I think he played Herman Munster, and he played the judge in My Cousin Vinny, but he was the old guy in that movie. Do you remember that? He's like smoking cigarettes. I remember that. And the little possessed kid cut his Achilles tendon with like a scalpel. I remember that too. That was not good. He'd sit there and he'd draw out that smoke. And oh, Lois, yeah, take a cat and bury it up on a hill. It's Pet Cemetery. You got to dig your own grave. Whatever he said. I don't know. He was that old guy. I didn't watch the second one. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I was a family man by then. I was busy working. I was working, not worrying about Hollywood movies. There was a stretch in my life that I mean, I missed all the great movies in the theaters, you guys, all of them. I'm talking about from about 1990. I saw A Few Good Men in the movie theaters, and that's about the last movie I saw in the movie theaters. until maybe a movie with my kids. Like, I don't know. We just, movies were out. we we had to work hard. We struggled. You know, we raised those kids. First 10 years was in a single wide trailer. That's no joke. 2-bedroom, single wide trailer, 3 girls. And we were in there. It was fine when it was just the 2 of them in that room. But then we had the newborn, and there was a third, and we had to make a move. So we were there for about another 6 months, maybe 7 months, and then we bought the house. So, but we worked hard. Not a lot of time for, movies and stuff. It's been a long haul. I can look back on life and definitely wonder where it all went, but absolutely know where it all went. I know where it all went. I see it all. Whatever your life is, you just reap the benefits of it as you go through life, for better, for worse. I don't know. Whatever. I got deep fast. Jesus. All right. I think this would be an appropriate time to wrap this stream up. So that's about it. Thank you for showing up. I love you all. Until the next time. If I can find the end stream button. There it is. All right. I'll see you soon. You guys be awesome. Be awesome. I'll see you soon.